books of the Torah.
They would have known last fall.
Yeah, it's okay. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and you're not a pastor's kid, right? So if you open up the Torah, if you open up what you would call the Bible, and read those first 5 books, particularly in Leviticus, it talks all about the construction of the tabernacle, the travel. So this is all like, this is all modeled like this. This is actually done by a Jewish woman artist from India. These Jews everywhere. You can see it sort of has a little bit of. So these are our Torahs. We have 3 different Torahs here. This Torah actually is a Holocaust survivor. And I can tell you that story later. This is the Torah we use the most, but this is the Torah that I typically read. And this is done in the style of Jews who lived in North Africa. There are almost no Jews in North Africa anymore, but through the 1940s, 50s, 60s, there were Jews all throughout North Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, along with Jews in Iraq and Iran. Almost all of them were kicked out of their homes in the 60s and 70s in Israel and Los Angeles. So this is the Torah style. So over here you can see, come on in. We don't touch it because from animal skins it starts to degrade, and the oil from our fingers makes it really fast. Look at it. It takes a specially trained scribe about a year to write the horoscope. And so if you wanted to buy a horoscope, you wanted to have a copy of the horoscope. Because it costs about $50,000.
Oh, wow.
If it's smaller, it's more expensive.
Yeah, the smaller ones are more expensive. Why do you think that is? Close? Yeah, it's harder to write smaller. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So we go over here and we chant from that in Shabbat mornings. But actually one of the interesting things is there's no vowels. So you have to almost know what you're reading before you can read it. I don't even know what I would compare it to in English. I don't have anything like this. But, so here, I'll chant the same line, and I'll chant it in the style and the sound of
What? Correct. Let's be right. Daniel's gonna be back there. Give him the dog.
Well, we didn't sound European doing that.
My ex.
And actually, it said all the different skins.
I see them soon.
All the skins.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get them new food orders?
Well, he chewed through his or someone.
I know. So I don't know what happened.
I just thought this might be cool to see before we get started. Maybe a little bit. If anyone wants to get in close and look at it, you're welcome to do so.
I did get my because they were, yes, they were fighting in the old cage. It was a small cage. Right, but they there's like if you and got rid of the
Chelsea.
extra, we're all living in the same room. Yeah, that wouldn't work out for me.
Oh.
He looks so innocent.
Don't let it deceive you.
Stinking. Exactly, stinking. SLBC is life changing.
Have they found out how to jump out?
They don't like jumping out. They like jumping back.
Of course, well, usually what we do during the cottage is we'll ask for names of people who are here. Maybe you just say it. That's okay. I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you. What was your grandpa's name? Totally. Okay, let's do it again. Like you were on. You were standing on my table. That was all. Yiddy-dum, yiddy-ay-ay, yiddy-dum, yiddy-oh, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-ay, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yum, diddy-dum, diddy-day-ay, yiddy-dum, yiddy-oh, yiddy-dum, yiddy-ay-ay, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yiddy-dum, yiddy-ay-day, yiddy-dum, diddy-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-ay-day, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-ay-day, yiddy-dum, diddy-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-ay-day, yay-day-ay-day-ay-do, yum, diddy-dum, diddy-day-ay, yiddy-dum, diddy-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-ay, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yum, diddy-dum, diddy-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-ay, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yum, diddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yum, diddy-dum, diddy-dee-da-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yiddy-dum, diddy-do, 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 yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yiddy-dum, diddy-dee-da-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yiddy-dum, diddy-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh, yiddy-dum, yiddy-day-day, yum, diddy-dum, diddy-do, yiddy-dum, diddy-day-day, yay-day-ay-day-ay-oh. Well, good Shabbos, everyone. A special welcome to our friends from St. Luke's in Imperial. Am I remembering that right? Really glad that you all schlepped over here to be with us. In St. Luke's UCC, is that what I heard? United Church of Christ. And in fact, their minister, and I've already forgotten your name, I'm sorry. James is a friend of our communications director, Jennifer Harris-Dalt. So very nice to have you all with us, and welcome. And it's just good to be with everyone this Shabbos. I don't know about you, I had a tough week this week. Yeah, it feels like maybe that's a universal, that this week was a tough week. But there is something about Shabbos, there is something about Shabbat that it always comes at the right time. It is the original Jewish self-care, I think, is the idea. In fact, this is a terrible joke. I'm just going to apologize in advance, particularly to our Christian friends who are visiting here for this really terrible joke, and everyone else for having to hear this, actually. But there's a joke that says that there's an employee who doesn't show up at work on Monday, and their boss calls them up and says, what's going on? You're supposed to be at work. And they say, well, I'm waiting for the next Jew. Waiting for the next Jew. Moses came and we got Saturday off. Jesus came, we got Sunday off. We're waiting for the next Jew. I told you, it's a terrible joke. It's not very funny. Good Shabbos, Rudy. We should be off on Monday, exactly. So it's good to be together. It's good to have this moment just to exhale. It's good to take a moment for joy. Take a moment to let go. Rabbi Susan always talks about the schmutz of the week. And if you don't know what schmutz is, like every other Yiddish word, there's no real definition to it. You just got to repeat it enough till you understand it, I think is how it works. But it's the stuff we carry with us that we don't want to carry with us. It's the schmutz of health concerns. It's the schmutz of the stresses of work, of school. It's the schmutz of relationships that aren't where we want them to be. It's the schmutz of distance. It's all the schmutz. It's the schmutz of broken stuff and cars that got to get fixed, and it's all schmutz, and it all adds up, and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier to go through your week, to go through your days carrying all of this. And so on Shabbos, we put the schmutz down. On Shabbos, we take it off. On Shabbos, we stop trying to control, stop trying to imagine ourselves as the ones who are in charge, and see ourselves as just passengers on this rock floating through space that we call Earth. And so my addendum to Rabbi Susan is, of course, that we can put the schmutz down with confidence that as soon as Shabbat is over tomorrow night, it will all be waiting for us to pick right back up. But hopefully we will be a little bit different. Hopefully we will be a little more ready to carry it. Hopefully we will be Shavat vayinafash. We will have gotten that rest, that soul rest. We will have been renewed. And so let's welcome Shabbos together. Becky, would you light the candles for us? I keep saying I'm going to ask you to do this, and so there's this old tradition that says at this moment between the lighting of the candles and when we say the blessing, that the gates of prayer are the very most open. And so invite us just to fill that moment, to fill that space with whatever those core prayers of our hearts are.
Tzivanu lechadlik ner shel
So our friends from St. Luke's, you did all grab sidurs. Actually, we can probably thank Lisa for that, is my guess. If anyone doesn't have a sidur, they're over there in the back. Turn to page 6. Shalom Aleichem is a folk song that imagines angels accompanying us as we enter into Shabbos. A good angel, a mischievous angel, and we each get to pick which one we want to whisper into our ear. Shalom Aleichem, we welcome them. Boachem l'shalom, we invite them in. Barachuni l'shalom, we ask for blessings. And Setchem l'shalom, we ask them to leave. Because like any good guest, they should leave eventually. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barachuni l'shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 8. One of the images we have for Shabbat, Shabbos is a bride, which is to say we are all at a wedding. But if we do it right, this is like a wedding, a moment when two becomes one. When the boundaries between each other begin to disappear. The Talmud says Shabbos is like a taste of the world to come. A day when the difference between the world as it is and the world as it could be, as it should be, as it can yet become, becomes just a little closer. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad
לשם ותפארת ולתחילה ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה. Top of page 9. לקראת שבת לכו ונחה כי מקום הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי אורי שדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה. We turn towards the entrance. We imagine Shabbos coming in like a bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha uvtzola toch emuneh am segula boi chala ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה ולך דודי לקראת סקלה בני שבת נקבלה. בני שבת נקבלה. If you're in standing, I invite you to remain standing as we turn to page 11. We call each other to the work of bridging this divide between the world as it is and the world as it could become. We have this secret hidden in the place we turn to. We turn towards Yerushalayim. Wherever we are, we turn towards Yerushalayim, Jerusalem. But that ayim sound at the end, that ayim tells us that we're dealing with two, not with one. We turn not towards the political place, not towards the real place, not towards the beautiful, unbroken Jerusalem as we know it. We turn towards a whole world which can share that name of Ir Shalom, city of peace. May be seated. The Kotzker Rebbe, one of the great doubters of Jewish tradition, summarized these prayers before the Shema. Not really prayers, a mindset. He said, we each, if we're going to live in this world right, we have to hold two ideas at once, two impossible ideas at once. On one piece of paper in one pocket, he said, we write that the whole world was created just for us. The whole world is waiting just for our soul, waiting for us to find that one piece of brokenness, that one piece of hate, that one piece of poverty, that one piece of homophobia or transphobia or lack of access to medical care, that one piece of war that we are here to fix. And in the other pocket, on another piece of paper, we're to keep a note that says, we are nothing but stardust. So we start with stardust. We start by recognizing that we are here just for a moment. In the grand scheme of things, a blink. We start with Ma'ariv Aravim, page 12. We take a divine perspective, a cosmic perspective. We back away from it all. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhma poteach she'arim, uvidvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem berakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golei alor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, umavir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tziva'ot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu, leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Ata Adonai Hamarim Aravim. Holding both of these ideas at once. How existentially small we are, and how we were created with a purpose. But if the world is going to be the place that it could be, it requires us to be the people we could be. Holding both of these things, we take a moment to close our eyes, to let the distance between us fade away. Page 15. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Page 16. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech ושוכבך ובקומך וכסרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 18.
Yiridum yidiyay-yo, yididay-day-yo. Yiridum yidiyay-yo, yididay-day-do. Yiridum yidiyay-yo, yididay-day-day, yididay-yo, yididay-yo. 36 times. More than any other commandment, we have some variation on this idea which goes against the core of how humans work. This idea that says, that which was done to you that was evil, that which hurt you, you are obligated to make sure no one else experiences it. We know that the way that trauma works is that so often we take the traumas we have experienced and we pass them on. We do it as individuals, we do it as families, we do it as collectives, as peoples, as nations. And so over and over and over and over again, our tradition reminds us of this. We were strangers in the land of Egypt. And so let us make sure that no one ever feels like a stranger when they are around us. Page 18. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, nora teilot osef nora teilot osef yum didi yum didi yidi dum yidi yo yidi yo yidi dum yidi yo yidi do malechutecha ra'uvanecha bokeh yam lifnei Moshe uMiriam zeli anu ve'yamru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed yadadadadayadayim yom dididayayay yum dididayayay yididum yidiyayay yididaydo yididum yidiyayay yididaydo V'ne'ema ki fada Adonai et Yaakov uga'alo meyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Ga Yisrael Ga Yisrael.
Page 20.
Our prayer for the dark. Our prayer that there always be light. Our prayer that even when it seems impossible, we remember that there is hope, that there is a path. The world as it is a choice, which means we can choose differently. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Hamidenu Shomreinu leChaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Hamidenu Shomreinu leChaim. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom.
Shalom.
Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom.
Shalom.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom Hamidenu Shomreinu leChaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechai, Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, cover over us tonight with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love, a Sukkot Shalom over all creation, over all creation, over all creation. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. We rise as we are able, as we take a moment for personal, private prayer. For the words of the Amidah. The Amidah begins on page 23 and goes all the way through page 32. Invite folks to really take a moment for the prayer of your heart, for the prayer of the page. Be seated whenever it is that you are done. All of this preceded by the Chatzi Kaddish, page 22. Yitkada v'yitkada shamei rabba ve'alma divra chirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon ובחייך בישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמרה במבורך לעולם עולם עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא V'yetada, v'yetale, v'yetalal, shemei dekudasham barichu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'yimeru amen. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Agita Ilatecha. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Agita Ilatecha.
Page 31.
I will build this world from love.
And you
Must build this world from love. If we build this world from love,
then God
we'll build this world from love. Olam chesed yibaneh. Olam chesed yibaneh. Turn to page 34. So we take a moment from Misha Berach Lecholim. A moment to fill our hearts with prayers of blessing, prayers of healing. So if you're thinking of someone in need of healing, if you'd like to share their name, thank you. Yeah, Paul. Thinking of them. Thinking of them, yeah. Thinking of him. Thank you. Yeah.
Carlo.
Thinking of Carla, thank you. For Colony, thinking of Colony every day. Thank you, Marion. Mariah is still healing from surgery, and we got in, I think she was in the office today, is that? Good, good. I'm glad you sent her home. I'm glad you sent her home. But we're glad she's doing well enough to feel well enough to be insane enough to come into the office. Exactly. So good. Yep. Josiah. For your neighbor, thank you.
Sarah Marks.
Oh, Sarah, yeah. For Carol, for Mary. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, Becky.
Yeah, Toby.
For Toby Epstein. Rudy, did you have a hand up? For your special friend. Our friends from St. Luke's, anyone you're thinking of? Thinking of Stephanie.
I have a friend whose mom is in the hospital, so for mom's healing and for my friend's emotional healing.
Thanks, Brent. Michael, do we have names from the stream?
Yes, we're praying for Jerry Livingston, Jill Silverstein, Eddie Gormaner, and Drew Patchen.
Thank you. Page 34. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor Abrecha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We say, Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Blessed is the source of goodness that calls us to the work of healing. And we say, Amen.
A little more guitar.
Stream.
Everybody hear everything? You hear all of us? You hear the guitar? You hear our mumblings? Okay.
You don't hear me real well?
You haven't missed anything.
The voice or the guitar?
When he's speaking?
Better now? Is this any better? I can keep going. I got all sorts of little buttons I can press here. And Michael's doing it at the same time back there. It's really
That sounds obscene.
better. So, invite everyone as you are able to rise. Page 38. The words of Aleinu, a reminder that it is on us to be the agents of change in this world. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekenu la liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kimishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vigor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. שהוא נוטש שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו, אין עוד, אמת מלכנו בתורתו, וידעת יום והשבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתנו, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. We take a moment, as we do at the end of every service, to acknowledge those in our community who are in mourning right now, those who have experienced loss, whether it's the immediacy of Shiva and Shloshim, the year of loss, whether it's Yartzeit, the annual anniversary of when someone died, or whether we are just missing them right now. So if you're thinking of someone, if you'd like to share a name, I invite you to rise, to put a hand up, some other way that we can acknowledge you and hear the names. For Sue, of a blessed, blessed memory. For Milton. Marion?
A friend, Bill Schwartz, of Schwartz and Associates. Some of you may have worked with him on films.
For Bill Schwartz. Thanks for mentioning his name. For your grandpa, thinking of you, thinking of your family, and glad that you can be here, be in this community to say Kaddish, to remember him. For Betty. Oh, wow. For Maura Betty, who taught. For Buddy. Oh my God.
Taught me everything I know.
Can you imagine how proud they both are of Bryn right now? For Dora. Thank you. For Gina. No, thinking of Gina and thinking of Mitch. Thank you. For Barry Wilson. For Rick Isserman, a long time beloved member of this community. There's all sorts of great stories about him here in this space and in so many others. No, we love him. We loved him. So thank you. Thinking of them both. Michael, do we have names from the stream?
Yes, we're remembering Jeremiah Gutman, Maurice Verin, Janice Garbayo, Joan Butcher, Roxanne Holloway, and Tonya McCaw.
Thank you. We think of all of those who have lost their lives. We think of all those who have lost their lives to war, to violence, all of those in Israel, all of those in Gaza, all of those in the Sudan, in Yemen, all those lives, all those tragedies.
Shabbat Shalom. In Israel, there are 1,460 victims who have been positively identified. There are 14,768 wounded. There are 134 hostages. And based on the best information we have, we believe that 103 of them are still alive. They've been held hostage for 141 days. There are 35 victims who remain unidentified. This week, Dr. Lara Tanuz, 42. Matam Emalayich, 26. Ishay Gertner, 23. Yair Yaakov, 59. Sergeant Shimon Asulin, 24. Major David Shakuri, 30. Staff Sergeant Hanan Derori, 26. First Sergeant Alon Kleinman, 21. First Sergeant Adi Eldor, 21. Lieutenant Colonel Natan El-Kubi, 36. First Sergeant Ziv Chen, 27. Major Yair Cohn, 30. Staff Sergeant Sarah Ben-Yo, 20. First Sergeant Rotem Hadar, 20. Staff Sergeant Noam Haba, 21. First Sergeant Ori Yaish, 27. Staff Sergeant Simon Shlomov, 20. Staff Sergeant Maoz Morel, 22. Staff Sergeant Avraham Wolvagen, 21. Major Yashar Hoffman, 36. Captain Ron Gavili, 24. Chief Warrant Officer Yuval Nir, 43. Captain Gavriel Shani, 28. Major Netzer Simchi, 30.
For all these names, for the names we don't know, for all of those in Gaza, for all of those everywhere. Invite everyone, as you are able, to please rise for these ancient words of the mourner's Kaddish, words that don't mention death, but affirm life. Page 41. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei D'Kudashah B'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushpachata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. You be seated. Donola,
Page 43.
Hashem alav. B'terem kol yitzir nivra, mi'ed nasa b'chefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra, mo nikra. תמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמזרח והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצוחב לי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אבקיר רוחי בעת אישן ויעירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא ולא יירא אדון עולם השם הלך בטרם כל יציר נברא להינשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא. Let's put our arms around each other and give each other a blessing. Oh, wait, sorry. We've got announcements, too. Very important. Very, very important. So get comfortable, standing, seated, arms, no arm, whatever, whatever your minhag for announcements is, feel free to do. Okay. Purim is coming. And actually, Bryn is working quite hard on Purim. It is Esther the Eras tour is what we are doing for Purim. For anyone who has never been to Purim before, it's like a rager of a party is the only way that I can describe it. It's really a blast at CRC. So come hear the story of Esther like you've never heard it before. The eras of Esther that Bryn is putting a lot of work into. Thank you for that. So that is coming up. There is a Hamantash and Bake on March 20th for Purim, and then Saturday, March 23rd at 7 p.m. Is the adults Purim here, not really for kids. There is, of course, a Purim carnival for the kids as well. CRC Mitzvah Corps is looking for folks, if you'd like to volunteer to help support members of our community who are in need, who are going through sickness or loss, or celebrating a joy, or could use a few meals because there's a new baby, or whatever it is, please sign up for Mitzvah Corps. We are still collecting things for winter outreach, so if you have more winter clothing in good condition to bring, please do that. The most requested items at CRC that we get in our mitzvah closet are disposable razors and deodorant. So if you have extra of those. Grief Group is not meeting this week, but we'll be meeting next week. Great. For those who didn't hear, so Grief Group, you can either be here in the library or you can be online on Zoom. March 2nd, my birthday. CRC is very, very proud to partner with the Ashrei Foundation to help collect help collect signatures to support reproductive rights and access to abortion in the state of Missouri. For those who don't know, we need to get about 176,000, I think that is the number, of signatures in order to have a constitutional amendment on the ballot to guarantee a right to abortion access for every Missourian who can become pregnant. For those who don't know, access to abortion has long been a religious requirement for Jews who can become pregnant. And so we are working to put our faith into action to make sure that reproductive health, reproductive justice, access to abortion care is available to every Missourian without shame, without stumbling blocks, like any other health care. So we got to get those signatures. And Ken has the petition out there in the Oneg. If you have not signed yet, invite you to sign. I got to sign yesterday, which was very exciting. I signed right with Crystal Quaid, which was even more exciting. And she's coming to Gavi's bar mitzvah. So her first bar mitzvah, she says. Any other crowdsourced announcements? Yeah. Amazing. For those who don't know, Holy Ground is the collective of justice-oriented sacred communities in this neighborhood that's been going for years and years. Rabbi Randy is very involved in it, as Paul, as are so many. So come and join and help set the future course of this really remarkable interfaith effort. Story of Us on Tuesdays. Yes, join us Tuesdays for my class. Exactly, all of these things. Okay, let's give each other a blessing. And of course, a big thank you to Bryn, to Leslie, to the Centaurs for providing Bryn for,
May God bless this Kehila Kadosha, this holy community.
And may you be the purveyor of kindness and peace and the recipient of kindness and peace.
And most of all, in our lives on this Shabbos, in this week, in our city, in our nation, in this whole world, may there be more peace.
Amen.
And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, thank you, thank you.